Hello everybody. Today is a special day. It is May 20th, 2024, and that means that as of today, we have officially owned Frank, this 2010 Volkswagen Jetta Sportwagen, for 5 years. This car was purchased and brought into our family on May 20th, 2019, and we've had it ever since. And it's been 5 years. Feels like it's been longer, but yeah, this has been my dad's daily driver for the last 5 years, and I figured let's get a little video of it now, a little update. The original paint still looks real nice. It's a little dirty. I will talk about, issues and stuff. See, the rims are in good shape. These tires, these are BF Goodrich Advantage TAs. They're 205 55 R16s, and they've still got probably half tread maybe left. Yeah, I would say half tread. We bought these tires. They came from Bell Tire, and I want to say maybe 2-3 months after we bought the car, we put them on. Down here. That's just dirt down there on the bottom, but no rust. Did have some body work done after the accident last year, this driver's side. Yeah, other than it being dirty, it's still in very good shape. The glass is all in good shape, no tint or anything. It's 2.5 SE. Like I said, a little dirty, but nothing too bad. This thing looks awesome. I love the way these cars look. The nice thing too about these Jettas, even this being a 2010, is that this still has the Mark V interior, which a lot of people, including myself, would agree is a lot nicer than the Mark VI interior. But these are wonderful, wonderful cars. I'd highly recommend for anyone looking for these Mark V sport wagons, diesel or not, as long as it is not a DSG, because some of those have issues, get it. You will not regret it. This thing is an absolute blast to drive. And in terms of reliability, it's been pretty good. We've done one set of tires, one battery. We did coils and plugs back in 2020. We did 2 front struts in 2022 or 1 maybe. And the body work from the accident. And that's it. All this thing is needed. So really nothing other than the plugs in the wires, or plugs in the coils rather, it hasn't really needed anything. It's just been a great little car. So we'll get a look at it. Here's the original key. It's one of these Volkswagen flip keys, switchblade. They've been using these all the time. This one's a little worn out. We have both keys, but this is the main one that we use. Unlock it. Mirror's a little dirty. This does have the Volkswagen thing too, where you can put the key in like this, and if you turn it to the unlock, you can lower the windows, and if you turn it to the lock, raise them all up. So, yep, nice feature. Looks like we've got a little bit of chipping here, but that's just on this this plastic. There's really no body damage whatsoever to this thing. The little bit of rust that it had was repaired under the recall, and the damaged panels from the accident were fixed. So yeah, open the door. This particular one, being an SE, has the black leather interior. It's all in very good shape. Still has the original floor mats. All the materials on the door, of course, being the Mark V, super solid. I mean, you can even see here, if you wiggle the door, you can see how solid it is. Another thing about these Volkswagens too, when you shut them, this is especially not true of the Mark VIs, but you can hear how solid that is. And these handles even too. They don't flop around like an American car. So yeah, leather seats, they're still in very good shape. This particular seat has been developing this cracking on the bolstering for probably 3 years now, but that's just from sliding in and out. Partial power seat with the adjustable backrest, and then manual height, lumbar, and the slider. We purchased this car with 110,000 miles on it. and it is currently sitting at 151,590 miles. So about 41,000 miles in 5 years. That's not bad. So these tires have about 40,000 miles on them too. So that's, for 40,000 miles, the only real maintenance we've done is plugs and wires, or I keep saying plugs and wires, plugs and coils. Got the Williams Volkswagen sticker. Oil changes every 5,000 miles at the dealership. They like to recommend 10,000 mile, which my dad does not do because he's smart. You don't do 10,000 mile oil changes. You can actually see too, funny little Easter egg. You can see some writing on the inside of the door from the junkyard. That door is not original, but yeah, so 5,000 mile oil changes. Steering wheel's still in very good condition. Interior, but I'll go ahead and start it up since I'm sure everyone wants to see it. And we'll start it up. Starts up perfectly. Actually, I'll go ahead and I'll turn the headlights on, and then I'll pop the hood. All the windows are automatic down and up, and then I'll turn the hazards on just so you can see them. Show that before we show the interior. It's got the mirror indicators up here. Halogen headlights. You can see the yeah, the original headlights are still in very good condition. There's virtually no yellowing whatsoever, so that's awesome. Running lights back here. The tail lights. Tail lights are in very good shape still. Nothing to see back here really. So we'll go ahead and pop the hood now. Just like all the other Jettas of the era that aren't diesel pretty much. 2.5 liter inline 5-cylinder. Has a timing chain. Absolutely wonderful engines. They're not really anything crazy, but you can't kill them. Yeah, this one runs like a top. Barely any shaking on it whatsoever. It's that smooth. Yeah, good pep too for a car that's this small. This thing has pretty good get up and go. Definitely approaching on V6 territory, especially in a car this small. Fuel economy that we get on this, I would say in the city we get about 25 on this. On the highway about 33. So definitely good fuel economy for a little wagon like this. Of course, highway, you know, if you drive, you know, more aggressive in the city, it'll go down to about 23. But if you take it easy, which is hard to do in a Volkswagen, but you know, you'll get 25 in the city. So we'll get in now. Hop in. Turn that off. Headlights off. Show you some of the features here. So you've got your door handle, obviously. Lock and unlock. Your window switches. Got your mirror controls here. Your gauge dimmer, your headlights. Here up on the gauges, you can see you've got a very simple gauge cluster, tach and speedo with a gas gauge and a temp gauge. You've got your center screen. This is not a VAG screen, but you have your compass, your time, your gear. That middle part is a rotating display. You've got your thermometer, your miles, and your trip. So I'll show you on the screen here with the trip. Look at your main consumption. You can look at your range, your route, your speed, your actual speed, speed warning, travel time, consumption. We just leave it on that usually. And then this is reset your trip odometer. That's for your clock. Pretty tight steering. But this thing corners absolutely wonderfully. The steering is definitely part of that. Got your horn. Steering wheel is adjustable here. You can make it go lower. It also tilts and telescopes. Tend to leave it right about there. Got your turn signals. Very solid stock, as you've come to expect from VW. Cancel if you, oops, not that. I was gonna say if you push, you can do the courtesy 3 blinks. Your wiper controls on this side. Front wipers. You've got your rear wiper here. your sprayer if you pull, and then you've got your intermittent setting, and then, you know, different settings. Oops, turn the rear one on. High beam indicators right there. Obviously your high beams are just push and then they come on. You've got your little daytime running light indicator, which DRLs on these are on pretty much when the whole car is on, which I guess because I'm sure some people want to see it, but just those little guys right there. Really nothing special. But there's really no way to easily disable those either, unfortunately. This head unit is aftermarket. It was in here when we bought the car. We eventually found a Volkswagen OEM double DIN unit at a garage sale, which we installed. It worked for about a month and it crapped out again. So we put the Kenwood back in here, but this Kenwood's, this is a good unit. I don't even like aftermarket radios really, but this is a pretty good unit. It's got plenty of different settings, and I'm not gonna go crazy into it, but it's a good little radio. And then you got your speaker, obviously your little shelves, keep stuff. Got your climate controls down here, very simple. Got heated seats, setting for the front passengers. Turn the vents on, kick the AC on. AC in this thing still blows ice cold, and I mean ice cold in this car. I'll let it kick on for a second, but of course you've got your different temperature adjustments here. You can go down all the way to heat. Your different zones. It's on upper right now, but you can change it to lower depending on where you want the controls or the zones to be. And then your defrost, your foot setting, got your rear defroster. But yeah, man, that AC is awesome in this thing. Fan's pretty powerful too. And your heat settings, like I said, so keep that off. And then your recirc button, rear defrost. Passenger airbag off light. Got change storage here with a little cigarette lighter. A little bit small up here. Got your traction control off button. Your gear shifter. This is a 6-speed automatic. I believe it's a 6-speed. Got the Tiptronic here. The manual or the regular low shift, but very good transmission. This transmission is very responsive. I don't have really any complaints about this. So the one feature on this car that does not work is the parking brake. You can see you can pull the handle straight up, the brake light will come on, but this thing, I mean, you can feel, I mean, there's no resistance. I mean, you start to get a little bit up there, but really it doesn't work. You can do that while you're driving and nothing happens. When we bought the car, you used to be able to pull it up somewhat and it would catch, but eventually it just completely gave up. So not a big deal for us, but that is the only thing on this car that does not work. 2 cup holders here, got a bigger one. You've got your center console, which you can slide as an armrest. Not a huge center console, got the factory aux jack in there, and it's not huge, but adjustable, obviously, if you want your armrest to be up higher. So yeah, that's the center. Got the glove box here, which is locking. It's huge. Got your owner's manual pouch right here, which has all of the wonderful information in it. But yeah, glove box is nice and large. It's actually vented as well. You can adjust that. Lighted. Rear view mirror, easy to see out of. Manually dimming, although this is hanging on it. Visors, which are small, but in a car this small it works. There's a mirror and a light, and then of course they come out. Very solid. Oops. Got your map lights, and then your main car lights. Turn them off. You can set the dome lights not to come on with that switch. Keep it in the middle. Sunglasses holder here, which is very small, but it fits my glasses. You've got your buttons here for the original sync set, or the original head unit. And that's really all there is to show up here. So I guess we'll open it up. Go ahead and roll the window up. I really don't think there's anything else to show. I guess I can rev it a little now. Well, I'll keep the window down because the dinker's gonna go off otherwise, and I'll give it some revs. You can hear it has a little bit of an exhaust leak starting. It's especially noticeable if you listen to it down here. Yeah, this thing has an exhaust leak starting, as you can tell, but yeah, still sounds good. I love the way this engine sounds. So, yeah, guess that's really shut it off now. Shut it down. You could really hear the exhaust leak when it shut off there, but it's good. And there's the fuel pump clicking off. All right, let's go into the back seat. It's hard to see at night. We'll see if I can get it to do it again, but the gauge cluster does light up white in the back and the needles are red. It's really not, it's actually showing up on camera okay, and then it'll get really bright if you turn this on. But the gauges do light up in a white backlighting, so. And then I forgot to show you, but the cruise control is adjusted here. Turn it on like that and adjust the speed here, and then you can cancel it. So, yeah, cruise works, it's electronic. Footwell and the pedals, the kick down switch behind it. So, yeah. So, shut that. Go into the back seat. For a small car, I will say this back seat is actually not terrible. Now this seat here, I'm 5'8", and this seat is positioned where I would sit, so decently far up, and I can actually scooch down a little bit. It's actually very comfortable if you don't sit that far back in the front. There's actually a lot of room back here. Got your vents, which work. You can turn it off and on. This is not an American car, so this doesn't jiggle back and forth. Little storage. Got a random hump, which is weird because this is front-wheel drive. Your headrests are adjustable. They go up higher than this, but this is where I have them set. Coat hooks, adjustable seat belts as well, which you can raise and lower. The retractors are a little on the worn out side. I think Volkswagen, they struggle with their retractors a little bit, but yeah, so even if you raise it, the retractor's a little worn out, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, if that's really your only issue, yeah, passenger one is too. I'm not concerned. Dome lights back here. You have headrests that all come up. There we go. Got your cup holders. Folds up and out. And you also have your pass-through, which being that this is a wagon, it's kind of useless, but it's there if you really wanted to use it. These have lots of slack, so, yep. And then, yeah, so, open that. This seat is scooted back, not all the way, but a considerable amount more, and you can see there's less room. I'll go ahead and I'll go into the trunk. You can pop the trunk with the key. There's a lever on the door right there, or you can just come back here and unlock it. Very large opening for a car this small. It's massive. I mean, you could probably be 6'5" and stand under that still. You have a cargo net or cover, which is very helpful. Comes all the way out. It's very strong. Defrosters on your back windows. Cargo hooks here. Lots of room. Cargo tie downs. You have your fabric Velcro, which is strong, part of the cargo system. And then you've got your mats, random tissues that are in the way. But even down here, you can see here you have your spare tire. It's a Bridgestone Turanza. Codes there. Full-size spare though, so that's one thing to consider. You do get a full-size spare. It's not like a Honda or a Toyota. They actually thought of that you might need it. There's some storage here. There's just some light bulbs and stuff. 12 volt outlet. You've got your storage here. And then these seats fold down, which I forgot to show. You can simply just pull this. It's split folding, but you get, and this can be removed as well, but it's kind of cumbersome. Get a lot more room. You basically have the equivalent of almost a mid-size SUV, like a Explorer, almost, but in a small car footprint. So that's pretty nice. And then these seat bottoms as well, kind of hard to show it, they come up. So in theory, if you took the headrest out, you could slide this and make it all the way flat. But yeah, so there we go. Just got to get it to fold back down. So that is the trunk. Not powered, obviously. I will say though that if your battery dies, this is electronic, and there's no way to manually actuate it unless you go in here. So that is one minor setback, but it's not the end of the world. Fuel cap. It's a 14-gallon tank, I want to say. 14 and a half. I think 14 and a half. And it's locking, so when you lock the car, you can see it lock, and then if you unlock it, you can hear it unlock. So this seat is considerably further back, and as you can see here, my knees are pretty much touching it. If it was all the way back, it would be. And just so that you can see the absolute worst case scenario, I'll go ahead and now do that. Plenty of room for tall people, especially if you jack the height way down, but yeah, you pretty much lose all your back seat use. But you do have seat back pockets, so not gonna sit in on here. It's what you just saw. Definitely a driver's car. But when the seat is all the way back, you can see how much room you have, so that's one thing to think about. Plenty of room up here. Very large door. Dash is a good material. They don't penalize you for being a passenger. You still get full height adjustment, power backrest, and this. It's not like some American cars where they penalize you for not sitting in the driver's seat. And then the glove box. But yeah. So, get out. It is a little low, but it's a small car. Really don't know what you're looking for there. But yeah. So yeah, that is it. That is the 2010 Volkswagen Jetta Sportwagen. Frank, as we call him. My dad named him that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my tripod, and I'm going to see if I can give you guys an idea of what it's actually like to drive this thing. So stay tuned in just a second. And yes, that horn is cute. Alright, now I'm going to try to give you an idea of what it's like to drive this thing. All right, so hopefully that showed you guys what it looks like to drive this thing. I tried to be quiet other than the AC so you can kind of hear what the engine sounds like, hear what it sounds like in day-to-day driving. Then obviously I gave it some gas so you can hear what it sounds like under a load. But yeah, that's it. 5 years and 41,000 miles with this car. So thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe and click like if you like what you see, and follow me on the web at isaac24.com. And here's to another 5 more. Bye-bye.